This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz. Very excited to be speaking with Damian Kocur about Under the Volcano. How are you, Damian?
I'm fine. I'm super happy. Thank you. I'm
Great. Looks
super
like
happy
you're
because
outside.
we just got two awards in Marrakesh. And I'm still in Morocco, which is like a beautiful country. I'm really enjoying my time here.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for taking a little bit of time to speak with me today.
Pleasure.
Um, I'm very curious how the film is playing different places because already it's a film from Poland about Ukrainians in Spain, and you've been showing it all across the world. So I'm also curious where the film comes from for you personally. But let's start with that actually. Let's start with where the origins of the film.
So the inspiration came from news. I'm like a newspaper, and like an article in newspaper, and it was about like Ukrainian families that were spending their vacation somewhere like outside Ukraine when the war started. So that was I would say like the starting point. Sorry for this noises here. That was that was the starting point, and then I was kind of like I incorporate my my kind of my own feelings, the helplessness, the feeling of guiltness as well. So yeah, but that the starting point was just like always in my films, like the reality, I would say.
One of the things that I think I was most struck by is how, so they come to knock on the door and say something about the card and they say, we're gonna cover your stay here. And the reaction is just, we don't need this. This is not necessary. But, I feel like it's what people always want to try to help. And that feels like the way that they should be able to do that.
Uh, yeah, yeah. What can I say? Yes, I mean like most of the scenes you can see in the film, they just the result of my research. I was making like a pretty long research, and I was talking to Ukrainian families, or like people that was just like in the same situation. So basically, like most of the things you can see in the film, they are like based on like true events, I would say. Yeah.
What surprised you most in your research?
Um, I think the most surprising thing was like were two situations, and they were like the one was about that the one woman told me that she will never think that from overnight she will become a refugee from tourists. So that struck me a lot, and hit me a lot. And another thing is that excuse me, and the birds are so noisy. And another thing is that I can remember the moment then, another girl was saying to me that she was like, "Oh my God, now is the mosque."
I can't hear it on my end, so you're all good. Sorry, it's
Okay,
distracting for you.
now now it's like the Allah Akbar. Uh, and another thing is that oh my gosh, sorry, excuse me. Another story is when one girl told me that she was like really when the war started, she was with her boyfriend in Spain, I think, and she told me that she was really hoping that the guy once gonna say that he wants to go back to Ukraine, he wants to fight, he wants to join the army, but and she was like really kind of like developing some kind of like toxic. She was making like kind of this pressure on him, and at the moment then he told her that yeah, I'm gonna go back, she just got the panic attack, when she realized that the situations can be like that he can really go back to Ukraine. And all this kind of like inner feelings that people were going through. And I don't think like like when I'm traveling with the film, the most of people that they're like getting it, mostly it's there are people from countries that I mean from the countries and the people that were once being displaced from those countries, like and I think that was in Sao Paulo that one girl told me she was Lebanese, and she told me like she can remember when her parents left Lebanon, and and all of them like were going like to this kind of the same stage of feelings. The feeling that you think you will never come back to your country. Um, so yeah, I think the film is not only understandable for Ukrainians. I think it should be understandable for all the people that went through this kind of like displacement feelings.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well,
yeah.
I appreciate the specificity. I saw this film at AFI Fest, where I know Julie Delpy's Meet the Barbarians was also playing. Have you had a chance to see that film?
No, not yet.
So it's a comedy about a French town that basically decides to welcome in Ukrainian refugees, and then there are too
Uh-huh.
many homes available, so they get Syrian refugees instead. And it's about the
Uh-huh.
preconceptions people have. So it's interesting to me that you've both made these films that are so specific about, this recent moment in time, yet do have a
Yeah.
universality about the way that, the world sees people and sees conflicts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I think it's not. There are not many movies that are showing the war from this perspective of like. If I don't know if expressing myself in the right way, but and that without showing the war like explicite, without showing it directly. So I'm always, and I think like personally, I don't have I would say a moral right to uh, to make the to make a film about the war, like show with all the pictures that you can see on the internet, like suffering people, like bombs, and explosions, because it's not my war. I'm not Ukrainian. I can talk about the feelings only. I think that's at least something that I have like moral rights to talk about, I would say.
Well, I think also, the idea of Instagram and people, back in Ukraine who are dealing with a lot just want to be able to, escape through Sophia's pictures. I think that's a really interesting moment of the film too. That makes sense because we consume so much on social media and just the idea of
Yeah,
needing that escape.
yeah, I think, and it's and I would also say that the film doesn't have this obligation that it used to have an old photography to depict the reality. I think we should suggest more than to expose, because now you can find everything in internet. All the images from cruelty, war. You can feel find literally like all everything. So I don't think the film has to show everything anymore. As it was with photography, war photography. Now everybody has an iPhone and can show it like directly. So yeah.
You have a pretty solid core cast of these four leads. What was it like to find them? What was that process like?
I mean, like the casting was pretty classic, I would say. We've been like there were like two casting directors working with us. One in Ukraine making the street casting as well. One like where the one casting director was living. She was living in Lisbon at that time, so she was making it like I would say remotely. She was looking for the people also like via social media. And the main character to Sophia, I found like by making my short film with Anastasia Solonevich, the co-director, like as it was that premiere in Cannes 2023, and she was the sister of the main protagonist Lera. And when I was just like preparing the cast, she came up back to my mind that actually we have this like teenage girl for that role already.
So congratulations on your prize at the Marrakesh Film Festival. What was it like showing the film just now, and how did the audience respond?
Uh, I'm really happy about that prize. I know that I made like pretty demanding film, and it's the rhythm of the film and the tempo. It's not so like I would say fast as we get used to, like recently. Also because I think like the world, which is like speeding up every year. So it needs like this kind of certain patience to watch it, because it's like more about the inner feelings and the emotional states than about like action. But yeah, I was talking to jury members Ali Abbasi and Luca Guadagnino, and they were really like they were really enjoying my film. So I was really happy about it. Yeah.
And this is Poland's Oscar submission for Best International Feature, which is very exciting. And it reminds me a little bit of how The Seat of the Sacred Fig, a film that takes place entirely in Iran,
Yeah.
is Germany's Oscar submission this year, because sometimes the producing countries and it doesn't match up with where the film is taking place. How does it feel for this to be Poland's, top film of the year?
I think that's uh it's when I got the news, I was obviously happy, but at the same time, I can feel the pressure all the time that people like demanding something. I'm like extreme good, or like I don't know, like the masterpiece. And I'm not like about making masterpieces. Maybe I won't be able any time like to make a masterpiece. I'm more like into making movies. Might develop my own language, so I would like to keep making movies without like spending 10 years for doing like each one. Uh, Trying to make like an opus magnum or something. And so yeah, some people were like, I mean, like I don't know. I mean, like I didn't pick up the film by myself. That was a commission, uh, and they found some reasons for choosing my film, and I'm really happy about it. But I at the same time I feel like enormous pressure. So yeah, but I think it's normal, and maybe it happened once in my time in my life. Let's see.
Have you had a chance to see other films in contention, or just any other films recently that you found particularly powerful?
Um, I have to say that the last film that made the biggest impression on me, but it's not the submission film. It's the Happy Holiday. It's the Palestinian movie. I really like that. I really love that film. Um, and I just watched. I watched a couple of films, but like there was. I mean, like nothing really that will like. Yeah, the Rasulov film. I consider to be like really good one as well. It's completely different cinema than mine, but uh, I'm a big fan of Iranian cinema. Anyway, yeah. So I was really enjoying watching that film. Yeah, but I don't think I think like it's the films that are being loved by academy are like, a bit different than mine, and so so yeah, I'm trying to be realistic to be honest. Yeah,
You never know. But
yeah. Let's see.
obviously, you're still living with this film right now, but do you have other projects in the works or things you're thinking about?
Yeah, I just got the financing for my next film, but it's super like it's gonna be very complicated in terms of the casting because I'm about to make that film with non-professionals as well. So it depends on the process of casting. But yeah, I think we're gonna start shooting next year and maybe prolong it to the 2026. Uh, let's see. But so far, the everything is going in a good direction. So we got the financing for the Polish Film Institute. We having some partners from France and Germany. So I hope everything will go good. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with me, and enjoy the rest of your time in Morocco.
Thank you so much. Forgive me this kind of the circumstances, like the noise, but it was like I really did. I went too far from the hotel, so I didn't have. I got lost in the city, so that's why you catch me here. Okay, thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye bye.
You too.